Everything around us is in a constant flux. Day is followed by a night, seasons change, there is high tide and low tide, the moon waxes and wanes, flowers bloom, plant and animal kingdoms have their own patterns. Similarly, we undergo changes at physical, mental, and emotional levels. Physical changes are very obvious. Our bodies change as we age, and there are other factors as well. Some days we are feeling healthy, vibrant, and full of vitality, while other days we are sick, inactive, and full of sloth. Our mental resources are operating at peak capacity and alertness on some days, while other days we are barely functional. We feel open, positive, and uplifting emotional states on some days when we are happy, hopeful, open, and free, while we are encountering feelings like despair, anger, resentment on other days. While we should try and make an effort to feel better at physical, mental, emotional levels, we also need to accept that this ebb and flow of life applies to us as well. Instead of trying to force and control ourselves to always point in the direction of doing and feeling better, we also need to balance these aspects and find harmony. We are not exempt from change like the rest of creation. So, when there is teeter tottering of life's circumstances, physical, mental, emotional fluctuations, we need to accept and honor it. Sometimes, when we see anything going in the opposite direction of how we would like it to be, our instinct is to gather resources and combat it so that we can force it back into compliance. So, if there is an undesirable event or physical sickness or a period of inactivity or feelings of boredom or low energy, we feel anxious because we want to course correct so that we are productive and producing optimal outcomes. That's why we judge ourselves and admonish ourselves when we are lazy or we want to do nothing or we want to rest, because we feel that if we give in and allow and let go, then we may just coast aimlessly, like never want to finish a project or never want to go to the gym. And it is important to have discernment so that we can guide ourselves back to what is important and what drives us. But at the same time, we need to respect this rhythm of life, this teeter totter, this ebb and flow. So, if the body wants to get some rest, then allow it. If mental resources need a break or our emotions need a period of stability, then we need to allow it and accept it instead of resisting it and instantly rejecting it. If we exert too much of control, it can lead to a a breakdown which can happen in form of sickness, burnout, or depletion, or it can lead to unhealthy patterns and coping mechanisms like binge eating or addictive behaviors or emotional outbursts. If we are constantly pushing our body, when will we allow it time to rest and repair? If we are constantly chasing goals on the outside, when will we have time to give our mental resources a break and go inward and relax? If we are always chasing happy and high, when will we have the time to quiet our emotions and sit with ourselves and go inside so that we can know ourselves intimately? There's a subtle difference between rest and sloth. So, rest is when we allow a break to our body and mind, and we feel rejuvenated later and it feels better. Laziness is when there is mental resistance and lack of motivation, and we feel worse later. It's better for our well being when we recognize that we are a part of this universe and, like everything else in it, Our physical, mental, emotional tendencies are cyclical and have expressions on a wide spectrum instead of being limited to a few acceptable, expected, and desired aspects. When we understand this, we operate more from wholeness than perfection. Wholeness meaning we honor and accept downtime, rest, repair, rejuvenation, along with creativity, growth, and forward momentum. So, let's become more accepting of this teeter tottering of emotional, mental, and physical changes. Instead of labeling them as good or bad, we understand when it is time for us to slow down and take a pause, and when it is time for us to go ahead with full steam. Ultimately, all these states have one thing in common: they only want the best for us. So let's honor this intent and use it with gratitude to achieve overall well being for us and flow with the current of life. Thanks for watching.